the director of the Michael Jackson biopic, filmed a scene so intense that he said it was one of the most powerful things he's ever put on camera. He shot Michael Jackson being stripped, being searched, being treated, in his words, like an animal, a monster. The scene depicted what happened when police arrived at Neverland Ranch. It was part of the finished movie. It was in the third act. It was supposed to be the emotional climax of the entire film. And then, one phone call changed everything. The scene was deleted. The entire third act was rewritten. 22 days of reshoots were ordered. And the movie that audiences saw in theaters, the one that just made $218 million in a single weekend, ends with Michael Jackson on top of the world, with zero mention of any accusation that was ever made against him. The question everyone keeps asking is why? And the answer is more complicated than the studio wants you to think. Here's what happened behind the scenes. According to Variety, the original version of the film devoted a significant portion of its third act to the scandal that rocked Michael's career. Director Antoine Fuqua, the man behind Training Day, didn't shy away from it. He told The New Yorker that he wanted to deal with the accusations in a way that was raw and unflinching. He filmed scenes showing police arriving at Neverland Ranch. He filmed the humiliation of the investigation. He wanted the audience to feel what Michael felt, regardless of which side of the debate they were on. But during post-production, the legal team discovered something buried in the paperwork from decades earlier. When Michael Jackson settled the 1993 case with his first accuser, a 13-year-old boy whose family accused him of inappropriate conduct, the settlement included a clause. That clause specifically prohibited any depiction or mention of the accuser in any film, ever. The settlement was reportedly worth around $23 million, and one of the conditions of that money was permanent silence, not just from both parties, but from anyone who ever tried to dramatize the story on screen. The moment the legal team flagged that clause, the entire ending of the movie had to go. Every scene referencing the investigation, every mention of the accuser's name, every frame that connected to the 1993 case, all of it gone. The cast was reassembled. 22 days of additional filming were ordered. The budget reportedly jumped from $155 million to around $200 million. And the new third act was built around the father-son dynamic between Michael and Joe Jackson instead, ending with the triumph of the Bad Tour and a title card that reads "His story continues." But here's the thing that most people don't know. The settlement clause only covered one specific accuser, the boy from 1993. It didn't legally prevent the filmmakers from addressing the second set of charges. In 2003, Michael Jackson was arrested and charged with inappropriate conduct involving a different minor. He went to trial at the Santa Barbara County Superior Court. He pleaded not guilty, and in 2005, he was acquitted on all counts. That trial, where Michael was found not guilty by a jury, could have been depicted in the film without violating any settlement, but the filmmakers chose not to include it either. And then there's what came after Michael's passing. In 2019, the documentary Leaving Neverland featured two men, Wade Robson and James Safechuck, who alleged that Michael had abused them as children. The documentary aired on HBO and sent shockwaves through the industry. Michael's estate sued HBO for $100 million. The two sides eventually settled, and as part of that settlement, the original documentary was pulled from HBO's platform entirely. It is now commercially unavailable anywhere in the world. The director Dan Reed released a sequel on YouTube for free and said the algorithm buried it. Then, in 2026, this year, a new set of allegations emerged. According to Britannica, a family that included 5 children who had befriended Michael in the 1990s filed a lawsuit against his estate. The family had previously defended Michael publicly for years, including after his passing. Now, they've reversed their position entirely. The estate has denied all allegations. So when people ask why the biopic doesn't address any of this, the answer has layers. The first layer is legal. The 1993 settlement literally forbids it. The second layer is financial. The filmmakers needed the estate's cooperation to use Michael's music, and the estate has a financial interest in protecting his legacy. The third layer is creative. The director wanted to go there, but was overruled by lawyers and producers who decided the risk wasn't worth it. And the fourth layer is the one nobody in Hollywood wants to say out loud. A $200 million movie that addresses those allegations might not make $218 million in its opening weekend. A celebration sells. The truth is more expensive. The biopic ends with a title card that says, "His story continues," and it does. A civil trial involving Robson and Safechuck is scheduled for November 2026. A new family has filed suit this year, and the director of Leaving Neverland is planning to film inside the courtroom. The story the movie chose not to tell? It's about to tell itself. Subscribe, because November changes everything.